Induction. File request made. Genre: science fiction, dark comedy, and/or humorous drama. Subgenre: independently produced. Subgenre: niche bouts of brief and thoughtful entertainment in a world seeming to darken by the day. Name: Ink the Pot.
No.
Oh, crud, but I wanted to...
Name: redacted. Date of recording: redacted. Suggested use: despite its availability to the general public, it is not recommended that this file be put to any use, as it is predicted that when played to completion, it will become a paradoxical object resembling a circle, and as such can and will cause this universe to come to a functional end. It is currently available as a part of our semi-annual solar sale at 30% off.
Welcome to the Mental Ennervation Colonies Story Creation and Development Program. Please, state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Bethany.
Jonas is the name. Stories are my game. Nice to meet you, disembodied voice that I'm hearing in an empty room. Quick question. Why am I in an all-white cell except for a single glass wall on the other side of which is my best friend and colleague, Bethany?
You were recently recovered from a semi-active corporate space battle type situation between two incorporation ships. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
It was nuts. There were fires and laser guns and guns that weren't lasers and scarves, and somebody pushed me into a wall. It was wild.
During our initial intake procedure, you were separated from your creative partner in order to privately complete this new personnel security intake exam. This individual has been isolated on the other side of the clear partition. What is the name of that person?
That would be Jonas, who I'm sure you're getting to know intimately, and who has been waving at me since we began this.
Oh, that's Bethany! We're friends. It's kind of in a weird period right now because they're in one of their moods, and it's like, oh my goodness, are you going to be all quiet and moody for the whole escape pod trip just because everyone you know in the whole universe besides me was incorporated in an instant? And then, like, you're gonna not even wave at me through the glass? Wait, is the glass clear for them too? Also, why can't I hear them? I see their mouths moving. Wait, can you tell me what they're saying? Is it about Patricia? Did they tell you about Patricia before they told me about Patricia? Are they talking about me?
On your initial application, it listed 3 distinct applicants. Yet, when your vessel was taken into our care, only 2 people were aboard. Please explain this discrepancy.
One member of our team was unable to make it off the ship and into the escape pod. We were forced to leave without them.
They're talking about Patricia! That's the face they make when they're talking about Patricia! Yeah! Oh, crud. That's Patricia. Yeah, they were supposed to be here too, and I don't actually really know why they're not. Bethany hasn't been talking a lot. I'm gonna stop waving now, I think.
What's that noise? I heard a noise, and you won't let me turn around to look at it. So what was that noise?
Oh. I don't know. Could be anything. Since we don't have a door.
It sounded like paper.
You know how those napkins like to tumbleweed themselves down the hall?
Yes, but this was more of a folding. What's a tumbleweed?
Something from a planet we incorporated before that pirate ship we took care of.
Oh, never mind then. I don't want to talk about work. Now, what could that folding paper sound be? Because I'm looking at my desk.
Yes, like I asked you to.
And I'm looking at all the things on my desk.
That makes sense.
You know what there's a lot of?
What's that?
Little folded paper flowers.
Really?
Yes, in every color of slip in the whole bureaucracy.
No.
No?
No, not every color. No, don't turn around.
The Mental Ennervation Colonies story creation and development program involves near constant exposure to stories, storytelling, and all manner of narratological study. This has been shown in a bevy of repeated studies to have the potential to cause many degrading and debilitating mental and physical abnormalities. In a short declaration, please explain why you feel qualified to join this program.
I've actually thought about this a good bit. I think the job that I used to have almost insulates my mind from many of the weird things that happen to others when a story gets into their head. I know other people can get pretty weird when dealing with stories and stuff. But heck, people also get weird when presented with a ton of random data as well. Just ask Jonas about the time they thought I was involved in a whole conspiracy. After they're done licking the glass or whatever they're doing right now, weird stuff happens. Stories don't bother me.
Jonas, if you could please stop fogging the glass with your brush and trying to write notes to Bethany and simply answer the question.
Stories are just fun, I like them.
And you don't have to say it back till you're ready. I know both of our spouses can be so very...
Literally, they've been encouraging me to make us official for weeks.
Of course they have.
And they're definitely going to want you over for dinner, probably tonight. So we'll all stop by one of the cafeterias and pick up some of the nicer proteins and...
Oh, I don't know if the nicer proteins will be there.
Ah, because of the battle.
Because of the battle.
Right.
We'll make it work. We'll think of something else. It'll be special because you're there.
And you're sure your spouse won't mind?
They will be happy to have me out of the quarters.
More for me.
And how's the data from those pirates coming along?
I've barely been looking at it, just giving the old seal of approval and moving on.
Really? You're not curious? We've never incorporated another ship before.
It happens.
Yes, but it doesn't happen to us, and being in the general data acquisition and storage department with you for the last however long, it feels important, right? Like we should actually look at the data instead of just putting...
Carol, I'm here for a paycheck, which means I'm barely here and I'm barely getting a paycheck. Oh, and it's great, though, because I met you here. And we get to spend time together.
Do we have to fill out a form now that we're official?
A screen will now descend in front of you, and a short video will play defining a little more of what we do here at the Mental Ennervation Colonies Story Creation and Development Program. During this video, our artificial medical team will be taking small amounts of blood, pus, and saliva for contaminant analysis, as well as attaching several electrodes to your main dorsal column, which will search through both your conscious and subconscious mind for mental and spiritual contamination as well. Please, enjoy.
Good golly, Molly! You sure look down in the dumps. Why are you carrying all those bushels of locally marketable goods to the market all by yourself?
Oh, Jasmine, I've never been so upset in all my life. You see, I'm a business owner, one of the many that keep our vital economy running smoothly, and I just can't seem to keep my employees happy. They keep quitting, and now I have to carry all these marketable goods to the market all by myself.
You're telling me. I was just elected to a seat in local government, and it seems like no matter what I do, I just can't stop all these constituents from complaining. I'm running myself ragged just trying to keep up with all these darn bushels of reasonable requests I'm hauling around.
That's terrible. If only there was something we could do.
Maybe there is.
Gasp! A mysterious voice from nowhere? We better listen to it real close, Molly.
You're right, Jasmine. It's the only sensible thing to do.
If you happen to find yourself in a position of power, feeling overwhelmed by the negativity of the less fortunate, then there's no need to rant and rave about the value of positivity, or to bring in strong types to make your point for you, or, worst of all, to acquiesce to their illogical and ridiculous demands. No, the only thing you need, the only thing you'll ever need, is to call the Mental Ennervation Colonies.
The Mental Ennervation Colonies? What are they?
I'll bet they can handle my bushels of marketable goods that I'm hauling to the market all on my lonesome.
Gone are the days of worker complaints, grumbling electorates, unruly educational systems, and other acts of free and hedonistic systemic rebellion. Our proprietary technology, when properly deployed, can ensure that up to 97% of all recalcitrant behavior is stopped at the source, in the mind itself, before it ever has a chance to rear its ugly head.
That sounds like just the thing for me. How about you, Molly?
It sounds perfect, but how does it work?
Well, of course we can't tell you everything we do here. We've got to keep a couple secrets to ourselves, after all. But I can tell you that our creative teams have found a way to produce, collect, and distribute fictionalized narrative in a form that is able to subconsciously enter the nervous system at various points as a person goes about their everyday life. Our unobtrusive approach allows us to penetrate the mind with a minimum of mental and emotional alarm being raised, not unlike a laparoscopic surgery, and most of the time the subjects are completely unaware anything is happening to them. Our products come in a variety of forms to fit a variety of applications, including, but not limited to, crowd control, classroom management, targeted emotional terrorism, semi-targeted emotional terrorism, early childhood behavioral correction, union disruption, personal relationship forming/ending, depression and anxiety promotion, ennui inducement, and many more.
My goodness! It sounds like the Mental Ennervation Colonies can do it all.
How do I get started with the Mental Ennervation Colonies?
It's as easy as sending us a message and preparing yourself for the time when all of your people problems have completely disappeared.
Wow, the Mental Ennervation Colonies sure sound perfect.
Come on, Jasmine. Let's go send that message to the Mental Ennervation Colonies right away.
Well, it looks like those two were smart enough to make the switch. How about you? I'm a generic spokesperson signing off for the Mental Ennervation Colonies. The Mental Ennervation Colonies. Ask yourself, how can ME work for me?
If I'm being really honest, I think I have more questions now, if anything.
I loved it. Can we watch it again? Also, tell Bethany that they look funny with all those needles in their skull.
Now that much of your curiosity is likely to have been tempered, we are proud to tell you that you have passed the physical exam with what we like to describe as flying colors.
Cool. Glad to hear it.
Could you tell I got pushed up against the wall? Because I did, and it was pretty brave and heroic, but whatever. Also, Bethany maybe killed the person who did it, but I'm not supposed to talk about that.
The mental examination was also passed.
You weren't quite as excited about that one.
But could you tell I was pushed up against the wall?
And your spiritual examination revealed a deep love for storytelling, as well as a distrust of almost any and all authority figures.
So is that a pass, or...?
The wall! Did you see the wall?
We are about to proceed to the practical portion of the intake procedure, where you will be judged on ability, competence, potential, wherewithal, knack, caliber, skill, aptitude, and of course, talent. But before we do so, do you have any final questions during this portion?
Why do you sound like the announcements from the ship?
I am an artificially intelligent Vocaloid module programmed to appear in your mind in the most familiar way that you, yourself, as an individual, are comfortable with receiving information. I am also programmed with code that stretches occasionally into the 5th dimension, and as such, I know that certain stories just wouldn't be the same without certain voices being included.
Oh, okay, that makes some sort of sense. Minus the 5th dimension stuff.
I was just thinking how comfortable that is. Also, what's the 5th dimension?
The 5th dimension is story, of course. Prepare for aptitude testing. Please enter the chamber beyond the door.
Hi, Bethany! Did you get my fog messages? I drew a fern.
I saw the fern, Jonas. I thought it was a turtle, but upon reflection, it was a very nice fern.
Did you watch the movie? Did they play it again for you? I made them play it for me 7 times.
I stuck with one. But I did have fun watching you convince them to play it again and again. It was a little cathartic, actually.
What do you think happens now?
Hey, did you know there was a department just like ours on the other ship?
Every ship has a GDASD department.
They didn't have a door either.
None of them do.
Huh.
Yeah. Useless department, no door. Makes sense. Were they cool?
Huh.
The employees, were they cool before the virus got them?
It was more of a cult thing, I think. I don't know, I haven't read too much.
Well, when they were giving us the whole spiel, I think the announcement said something about an infection?
That's probably it then.
So, were they cool before they were infected pirates?
Cool as in, like, chill?
Sure.
I think they might have been the 2 least chill people who have ever existed.
Just give me the highlights then.
It was a bitter older one named Bethany, and then a chipper younger one named Jonas, and they were friends usually, and then one of them turned out to be a rich fail child, and the other one didn't like that. And also let their mental health spiral out of control, killed some people, artificial and otherwise, and leaked the... You said it was a virus, right? Where did you read that again?
I didn't read it. I heard it. You're spacey today.
I guess it was a virus, then. They leaked a virus that turned most of the ship into cultists.
Pirates?
Where did you...
That's what the announcement said.
Okay, yeah, fine. Bethany leaked a virus that turned everyone into pirates.
And what did the other one do?
It said something about a talent show.
Weird.
Yeah. What do you think makes a person do that?
A talent show? Ego. You said they were rich, right?
No, the terrorism? Can I say terrorism?
It's just you, me, and the door we don't have, so I don't think anybody cares.
What makes a person do that?
Keep reading, and I'm sure you'll put something together. Hey, so you know how my spouses all have a game night each week?
Yeah.
They told me you have to come. Like, officially.
I've been coming to your game nights for almost a full cycle now.
Okay, but not officially. Not as a couple.
So, does that mean I finally get to be on your team now?
We will now begin the practical portion of the Story Creation and Development Program Intake Assessment. You and your creative partner have exactly 17 minutes to create a fictional story. This can take the form of any medium. Supplies are extending from the wall presently. Please be advised, your fictional story must be both distinct and unique from any fictional materials presented during your application for the Mental Ennervation Colonies Story Creation and Development Program. Your 17 minutes will begin in 5.
Wait, what?
4.
So it's gotta be fiction, not
3.
biographies?
Wait,
2.
Hold on, just hold on.
Hey, we can do this!
Begin fiction creation.
Jonas, we've never actually created a story before.
Okay, fiction, a story!
Jonas, just hold on.
Okay, so there's a worm, but it's not a worm, and it's got 4 holes on one side in its head.
Jonas!
It hates its caregiver, like, so much. Wait, this might have been a dream.
Jonas, focus!
Bethany, I don't know, brainstorm!
Can we just take a second here? Just a single second.
Bethany, we've got like 16 and a half minutes here, and with our lifespan, you know how fast that time is gonna go, and I'm already forgotten the worm dream.
Look, this is all very fast.
Which is why we can't dawdle around. Come on, talk to me. Forget the worm. Dumb idea. I agree. But we have to do something. Here, okay. What's your favorite EBI story?
What?
The damn extraneous but interesting folder. Which was your favorite?
There were millions of stories, Jonas.
Bethany, damn it. Give me your favorite right now.
Things get worse.
Wait.
You heard me. Shut up.
The one about the almost pet that got driven away from its loving family? The one that nearly caused me to overdose on generic sleeping intoxicants?
Look, you asked me.
Oh my goodness, that is such a Bethany answer.
Well, what's yours then if you're the master of stories all of a sudden?
I like the Infinite Blade Dance.
Yeah. Yeah, crud, that's a good one.
Why don't you bring Gabriel?
You know how they are.
Not really. I've only met them once.
Gabriel is themselves. They don't like to go out.
It's just one night.
Plus, I like to have time away from them. They like to have time away from me. I don't really know any of their other spouses. I mean, I know them, of course I know them, it's just that...
Hey, it's okay. People are different.
Yeah, people are different.
Why don't you tell me more about Bethany and Judas?
Jonas.
Oh, Bethany and Jonas. And I'll think about a game that doesn't use teams at all. How does that sound?
That sounds good. As long as it's not a chess tournament.
But you're so good at tournaments.
Exactly.
Oh, you think we're too easy to beat.
I do think that, yes.
A different time then. Tonight, we'll do something else.
You know, Bethany had coffee on that ship.
Really?
For a little bit, and then it was just gone.
Where did it go? Wouldn't we have it in storage now?
I don't know, I haven't gotten that far yet. I'll let you know if we need to do another heist.
3, 2, 1. Fiction creation time has ended. Please end creativity and prepare for a presentation of created materials.
I don't know about this, Jonas.
Hey, trust the process. It's gonna be fine.
It's pretty weird.
It's fine. They're gonna love it.
Please be informed that your fictional presentation is being recorded on both visual and auditory mediums for future reference. playback, and/or exploitation. By proceeding beyond this point, you agree that any and all materials you produce are the property and potential product of the Ennervation colonies, their subsidiaries, and anybody they may choose to sell these recordings to. Please acknowledge that you have heard and understand these terms as I have said them to you.
Fine by me.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Your acknowledgement has been recorded. Please begin presenting your fiction in 3, 2, 1. Begin.
Okay. So, it's funny. You spend all those 17 minutes preparing, and then all of a sudden you're just kind of on the spot with the metaphorical spotlight on you. Okay, I guess that's why they call it that.
Bethany, what are you...
Begin presenting fiction immediately.
And I don't know if you saw this in all your brain scans, but I'm not great at being put on the spot.
Bethany...
If fictional presentation is not begun in the next 5 seconds, this aptitude test will be rendered forfeit and the applicants released.
Does anyone else think it's hot in here?
Our story begins in a far-off solar system. A blue subdwarf star is orbited by 3 rocky planets, each bathing in the bright cobalt light of their sun, each beginning to realize that they themselves were conscious beings. Oh, and we were talking about this. So when you're imagining like how this is being presented, it's all in audio form. So no screens or anything. You would just hang out or, clean up the office or something. You'd be listening to the story and some of it would be sound effects and some of it would be words. And it's just cool like that. So when you're imagining it, imagine it like that. Bethany, you want to take over? Or I'll just keep going, I guess. So, these 3 planets are orbiting like planets do, and when they get close enough to each other, they kinda talk a little bit. Not like us, of course, but like planets do. And in their own little way, they start to become their own little friendly group like planets do. See? I told you that repetition thing was gonna sound weird, but you were like, no, it's high class.
No water.
What's that?
There was no water on the planets.
That's right! That's exactly right! And tell them why that's important.
It was important because it meant that life didn't develop on any of them. Not that it can't without water, it's just rare. That's something we know because of the job we used to have, so we threw it in there. And I don't think that counts as plagiarism or anything.
Bethany.
Right, sorry. So they don't have life on them. And they're just these big old balls of dirt and gases hanging out around a blue subdwarf star. And so that's what they talked about. And occasionally made up some of their own stories about the pictures they would trace in the stars they could see, which isn't really a plot point, but we wanted to put it in because it kind of shows how everyone likes stories, which is a cute little nod to what we're doing, we thought. And I'm rambling again. Anyways. In the way that planets do, they came up with a name for the blue subdwarf star. They called it Blue Diamond Phillips. Which, now that I say it out loud, I realize is a joke that only is funny if you know Phillips from our ship, who was caught stealing blue diamonds from gemology and hardened mineral storage and... Oh, crud, Jonas, did we write a terrible story?
And the planets talked for eons about Blue Diamond Phillips, wondering if they might be alive, wondering how they came to be, wondering why Blue Diamond Phillips was able to put out a blue glow and an amazing amount of energy, while the 3 planets were dark balls of gas and rock. Unfortunately, as is the case when one prefers to stare into the light of blue wonder instead of pondering the darkness of the universe, each and every planet was caught completely off guard when MacMillan, the great and terrible planet consumption worm with caregiver issues, busted through their solar system, ate 2 of the 3 planets, and left just as quickly, needing to ingest an icy comet or 2 after the lack of water in its last meal. The final planet was shocked to say the least. A small piece of one of its planetary friends had broken off in the mayhem. A small crumb, really, but it fell into orbit as a comforting moon. The final planet talked to this moon and told it about the stories that they had all come up with, about the pictures in the stars, and about Blue Diamond Phillips. But the moon didn't talk back, because it was a moon, and that would be silly.
Processing fiction creation. Please stand by.
So Bethany was actually in this position for, way longer than us.
Uh-huh.
We were born after they started.
No way!
No, obviously not, because I made it up so you'd pay attention to me. Bethany's not that old.
I love it when you lie to me.
And before Jonas, there was Patricia.
Is Patricia chill?
No.
Is anyone on that ship chill?
Hank was pretty chill. Well, actually, they threw a fit so that they could perform a war cry in front of the entire ship at one point. But other than that, pretty chill.
That doesn't sound chill.
Okay, but Patricia would make multiple drafts of their diary just in case it was ever published when they reached the top of whatever corporate ladder they were trying to climb, so comparatively, Hank was pretty chill, even though they were instrumental in spreading the incident.
Why do you say incident like that?
Like what?
Oh, never mind.
You know, there's a lot of interesting information in these things. How come we never read them?
Look around you.
Okay, I'm looking.
Does this seem like a place of hope and reading?
Bethany and Jonas, your fictional story created in 17 minutes as a part of our aptitude test, has been found to be within acceptable parameters of storytelling ability. Momentarily, a door will open. Please, follow the colored lighting on the floor to your new office and adjacent living facilities. Congratulations, and welcome to the Mental Ennervation Colonies Story Creation and Development Program.
Bethany, we did it! We're actually here!
We actually did it. We did it, Jonas.
We made a story!
We made a story!
Okay. Colored lights, follow the colored lights. I wonder if we get a door this time!
Hello. I am a series of blinking lights, leading you to your new future. Please don't differentiate from my path, or you risk immediate and painful ejection into space. Once again, I am a series of blinking lights leading you.
So this other GDASD used to collect stories that they liked? And I was thinking that maybe we could do that too. Like a special little couples thing, just for us.
That's, super not allowed, though.
I was pretty sure that would be the main selling point to you.
And you were right. I like it. I think it's cute. Do we start with this Bethany and Jonas story?
I think that's a good idea. But aren't you gonna ask me how it ends?
I know how it ends. They get incorporated. The whole ship is in our storage hold. That's what always happens.
Not this time. This time, it ends with them getting off the ship.
I didn't think it was going to be real. I really didn't think it was going to be real. An actual office with an actual door? Chairs, they don't squeak quite so much. No waste removal location spewing noxious gases down the hallway.
Hey, Bethany, what does neophyte mean?
I think it's an old word for, like, a trainee. A student, almost. Somebody new at something. Why?
It's stenciled over the door that leads to your quarters.
Huh. Well, that makes sense, I guess.
I wonder if mine says it too. Hey, Bethany, what does senior neophyte mean?
Just a higher rank, I suppose.
Hey, if yours says neophyte and mine says senior neophyte, that makes it sound like...
Oh no.
Wait.
Oh no, not this.
That means...
This can't be happening.
Oh my goodness, Bethany, I'm your boss now!
This piece of personal yearning was brought to you by the Mental Innervation Colonies. Mental Innervation. Ask yourself, how can ME work for me?
Season 2, Episode 1, was written, directed, and edited by Monty D. Montalegre and Alexander Wolfe. The character of Bethany was played by Allyson Levine. The character of Jonas was played by Raimy O. Washington. Leah Cardenas played the Intercom. Ellis MacMillan returns as the Robo-Archivist. Our two new lovebirds in the GDASD are Brynn Hambley as Kimberly and Edie Pierce as Carol. Molly, Jasmine, and the Spokesperson were played by Alexander Wolfe, Katie Ploetz, and Joe Hanson, in that order. And of course, we cannot forget a series of blinking lights, this episode portrayed by the great Chase Guthrie Knueven. Here in the slopes of Wolfe Mountain, where the darkness is ever so dark and the slopes are ever so slopey, we, like you, gaze up into the stars in eager anticipation of the next adventure from Bethany, Jonas, and all of the various aliens we've come to know and love. But, weary traveler, if you find yourself unable to wait even a moment longer, then let me be the first to introduce you to Tales from Wolfe Mountain, an anthology podcast where each season is a new and exciting story. From the devastation of the other Earth in Voices from the Umbra, to the infinite sights and sounds as pilgrims journey through the city unending, Tales from Wolfe Mountain is absolutely overflowing with that one thing we all can't get enough of: stories. And if that still isn't enough to satisfy your hunger for content, feel free to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Wolfe Mountain Workshop, where we offer behind-the-scenes interviews, bloopers, art time-lapses, a Discord server, and much more coming very soon. My name is Edward Hoffman, and I'm here to tell you that the slopes of Wolfe Mountain are dark, but the fire in the workshop burns bright. Ink the Podcast is a production of Wolfe Mountain Workshop, and has been granted an exclusive license to this content by the Mental Innervation Colonies. The Mental Innervation Colonies. Ask yourself, how can ME work for me?